What is shaking, YouTube? Good to be back. Been a while. Thought I'd get in here and do a little update on the madness that is the Donald Trump administration. Oh, I just got demonetized. Look at that. Anyways, nice movement here in the market. We have to be careful. We're going to talk the good, the bad, and the ugly a little bit here. So far, not looking too bad. The volume all checks out. Everything is looking decent for the move up here. We are in this big support resistance zone here. The 4-hour resistance, hopefully flipping now to support, but we must be careful. We got a big old fair value gap down here. We might want to go clean that up before moving to the upside, but everything does look relatively positive here. Now, we're going to have to address a little elephant in the room, which is this shark pattern that we've mentioned a few times. So weird thing about sharks, it could be in already, right? So the shark, you never know if the second leg high is going to take out the origin or not. So it's anywhere between an 886 and like a, could go all the way up to a 1.13, which would make sense as well. You've got here a nice 1618 extension there. And you've also got the macro golden pocket from the high to the low there. So that would make a lot of sense to go up there. But again, sometimes these things don't really make sense and you got to be on your toes. So that would be my word of caution for the day. We've got some imbalance to clean up down here. But, who knows how this is going to go. So be very weary right now of your emotions because everybody's all of a sudden super bullish and talking about those crazy 400,000 levels, a couple, bit of a wild card still. All right, so keeping that in mind, for today, we've swept the previous day's low here. So that's good news that we swept it and then pulled back in, didn't keep dumping. Yes, sir, Lloyd Roger Spencer, easy now. He's listening to that AI chilled reggae mix. So yeah. Hopefully we can stay above the previous day's close here. That would be very good because then that would also support our story of staying above this flipped resistance. All right, and then I'll be looking for the 96-ish zone and see what happens up there. But remember that 96 zone also coincides with that sort of golden pocket area. Oops. We got the 618 right there, and that Sharky might play out, right? Sharks aren't guaranteed. Nothing in this life is guaranteed, but just be mindful of that. But looks pretty good right now. We've got growing volume. Volume looks good. The a big rejection up here, so that's a little bit on the scary side. But let's take a look at this consolidation here that we're putting in. Not what I want. Rotated triangle. All right, so down to yesterday's low. Slap this on a 15-minute chart. You can see coming into the high, we had quite a bit of increase in volume, and then the bears just mega sold. All right, so this is going to be definitely a zone for us to pay attention to. These wicks up here, if we can get back up there within the next day or two. Be very aware of that. So it does look like there is a bit of a sell-off happening here. But the good thing about these lows here is as we are coming down into these lows, you see this increase in bearish volume here. So buyers are stepping in here and stopping the bears from pushing it any lower. The exact same thing happens here. Huge volume spike as far as London goes. Huge volume spike. And again, the bulls step in and buy it all up. And once again, on increasing volume. So that's a very, very good sign there. Let's see if we can continue this move. All right. Something to keep your eye on. I talked about this in the Discord yesterday, but keep an eye on gold and silver. Gold had popped above that 100-to-1 ratio, which generally signals a bit of a sell-off for gold or a massive pump for silver. And silver has been pumping, and we did get quite a nice sell-off on gold, but now it seems to be turning back around here. And silver also seems to be turning around. Take a peek at the daily chart. I imagine this goes higher. I think silver is going to come up for these highs over here, at least. A little bit of a, not a little bit, that is a nasty short squeeze that they've started on silver. And that's usually what will happen when gold hits 100-to-1. That's usually what's going to take place. So be very aware of this. If gold does start to pull back, which would be a healthy thing, I don't see gold crashing or anything, but a nice pullback would be good. You'll see some money moving out of there and going back into the markets, which would be nice. Now the NASDAQ, huge pump yesterday. We're down on the futures this morning, so you got to be careful when New York opens where those futures are. Looks like we might get ourselves a little bit of a red day. Speaking of NASDAQ futures, let me just clean that up real quick. We did hit a nice support level last week, almost 2 weeks ago now. And it seems to be holding, but we're really not putting in any sort of changes of character in this daily structure. So don't buy into it just yet. We might still have a little bit of a move to room to move to the downside, but hopefully that's not gonna happen, so people don't start losing their minds. But yeah, be very aware, especially if gold starts to take a dip. Hopefully, money will come back into the indexes and stocks. All right, then we've got our big performers, Palantir. Keep an eye on Palantir. I think it's going to do massive moves this year. It's going to get all kinds of contracts from good old POTUS up to $100. So let's see how that opens up. In fact, let's check out what the pre's holding around 99 there, 99.86. So that's pretty decent. And let's see how that kicks off today. Be very aware of earnings coming out pretty soon, May 5th. So that'll be a fantastic day. I think huge numbers for them, and I do believe we'll get a bit of a pump, maybe a dump before the pump, but it should definitely skyrocket. All right, so having said that, we've got some Bitcoin levels here. Ooh. So the stuff I'm going to be very interested in seeing here for Bitcoin. We've got a bunch of these high volume nodes and single prints below us here. All right, you've got a very small buying tail from yesterday's open. Let me get this into a 15-minute. And then we've got quite a few high volume nodes here and then single prints. All right, so if price is going to have a pullback and lose this support zone, which could definitely happen, it's only been taken, would make sense for a little pullback here again. These are the things I'm really interested in, is to see reaction off these high volume nodes and single prints right now. Now, I know everybody wants to hear Bitcoin's going to 100,000, but I would take it day by day here, guys. Be very cautious. All right, we have a huge golden pocket down here as well to come down into with a big old high volume node / single prints. All right, there's your little single prints right in that golden pocket. So that's going to be a little bit of a magnet. Do we have to come down and grab that? No, it's it doesn't have to happen, but that is always interesting when you see a row of single prints in a golden pocket. Always pay attention. And the other thing I would say is this 382, also in this high volume node. This would be a very interesting test down here, but I would want to see a pretty aggressive move into it and a pretty aggressive move away from it. That is what I would be looking for there. But those are really the two levels that I'm very interested in to the bottom here. And to the top, I'm not really looking to short this right now, even though we do have that potential shark playing out. Just because volume does not look good for the bears here. It does not look that great. Sailor, 10 million maxi crew. Yes. Yeah, Bitcoin to 10 mil. But yeah, in terms of momentum volume, it doesn't look overly weak right now. So I'm not too interested in shorting this. But if we do go up into that 96,000 zone, I think you'll start to see a bit of a different story on volume and momentum. So be very aware of that. That's all I would say about that. And then the star, good old Fartcoin, another great setup today on the London Open here. You got a nice little consolidation zone here that finally breaks, pulls back into that golden pocket, and off she goes. I was looking to potentially get an add-on into a pullback here onto this trend line, but hasn't happened yet. So hopefully it comes back down there, but maybe not. Maybe it goes. We've now broken this Fibonacci trend, Fibonacci range. So yeah, that's it. And also swept the previous day's low. So let's see if it can get up there quite a bit. Now, I wouldn't imagine it gets up to the previous day's high today, but you never know with this Fartcoin. It's a bit of a mover and shaker. And then we've also got the Trump coin open for business. Had a big move yesterday. Today it's not quite as nice. So I'm looking for a pullback back into this VWAP here. I was watching other things early in the morning. I didn't quite see this. Unfortunately, probably should have set an alarm, but I did not. But yeah, pretty wild stuff. Pretty wild stuff. Let's just look at this Farcoin scenario here. This one's for Lloyd Spencer the third, Sir Roger. So there was this golden pocket here. We hit, it held, we put in a higher high, got back above the previous day's low, came back, and you see this pretty decent looking lop here, right? So breaks the second bar on this candle, and that is going to be your signal to get on in there. All right, and after it breaks and you get in, you've got to be very aware of this fair value gap. All right, so just going back to what we were talking about yesterday, and price does in fact come back, fill in that gap perfectly and go. So you don't have to be in a hurry to get these. You know, you can wait, chill out, wait for it to come on back and see if it is going to fill this stuff in. Or you can look to take profit aggressively, and then when it comes back, hop in there again for a second time. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. Pardon me. So yeah, everything looks pretty decent, I would say, today, but it will be very, very interesting to see how New York opens. This could be a classic sort of pump and dump scenario. We are on our midweek reversal schedule here. So yesterday would have been real nice to see if we could have taken this high on Farcoin. That's what gives me that sort of, yeah, not too sure about that. And on Bitcoin, we did get that previous day's sweep and then close back in. So Thursday could be the midweek reversal coming. All right, that's the other elephant in the room, sort of. There's all of this up move here that they're going to have to cash in on somewhere. So be careful. New York might get aggressive there. On the NASDAQ futures right now, we also have another massive gap up. All right, so it would be pretty nice to see that get filled in before we go back up. So could be. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. My bad. We did get the gap up, but that's not the one I'm referring to. It's this gap that I would really like to see get filled up before price continues on up. All right. So yeah, there is good news, and there's also reason to be weary, right? Make sure that we clean this stuff up before we really get too excited. And again, we've swept the previous day's low. So we're generally not thinking we're going to go up and take that previous day's high, right? So be real careful if New York dumps it, fills in this gap. That's about a 300-point drop from where we are. And then look for a potential turnaround and price to finish up in its maybe in the previous day's range or just below that. That's the way I would see the NASDAQ right now. But as New York opens and starts off its shenanigans, my ideas can change quickly. All right, so that's about it, really. Just a quick update. Make sure you are very aware of this. Put this on a bit of a lower time frame so it makes more sense. 30-minute chart, you've got Monday's low here. All right, make sure that you are aware of this golden pocket and this 382. And be very careful with the way it comes into this 382, because if it comes in quite slowly, I'll just go over this real quick. We look at the session volume profiles here. All right, if it does get into this zone here, if it gets into this value area zone, there are a couple of volume nodes here to hold us up, but it might just start ping-ponging its way on down there, all right? Holy Sultan Bardi, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So yeah, be careful with that. that is going to be, you know, a little bit of a dangerous zone there. If we do break back into that, price might start to go down. And at the same time, that would be sort of that break of this support resistance zone that we've just gotten over and so far seems to be wanting to hold. But if we do slowly hit into that 382 and start consolidating around there, you know, be very aware of that. Look for good aggression into it and aggression out of it, all right? Because definitely we could come back down, clean up a lot of the imbalance from yesterday and retest this support zone, which has been flipped and didn't get retested, right? So it makes sense that we might want to go down there and make sure that's going to hold. So again, keep your emotions in check, right? Yeah, everything looks good right now, but that doesn't mean much, right? So things look great until they look horrible, and that can change on a dime. So make sure that we are kind of keeping our emotions in check, right? And that's about it, guys. That is all I wanted to say. So be safe out there. I'll be the New York Live for on the Discord for the New York Live. If you want to join our Discord group, there is a link in the description. If you like the video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. That would be great. If not, no big deal. Thanks for watching anyways. You guys have a great day and talk soon.